welcome to our second episode of Awards Digest. This time in lovely video, just like we promised, because we aren't liars. We're opinionated, but we're not liars. It's very important. So now that we're in video, you can actually put a name to the faces and faces to the names. So I'm Natalie, this is my lovely face, and this is Elaine, this is her lovely face. And we actually have our co-host today, and our co-host has brought a friend, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Alba, and I'm from Spain. I have letterbox, so that gives me the qualification to be here in the podcast.
Exactly.
And I hate Emilia Perez, and that's gonna be my take through all the episode.
And I'm Esther, I'm Alba's friend from Spain, and I'll try my best to put some knowledge in here.
Period.
All right, so today we are covering the Oscars, if you couldn't tell from the Emilia Perez dig, because we have opinions. That's all you really need here, opinions. We have them. And do you want to start us off? Because you did cover the Oscars for our Twitter page.
Yeah. So, Sunday was an event in and of itself. I started covering it like at around 4, when the first reports of people going into the carpet. Mm-hmm. At first it was really calm, normal, as it should be. And then some individuals appeared, and all of a sudden some co-stars did not want to look at each other's face.
Drop names.
Drop names.
La Sofia Gascon and Selena Gomez.
They didn't look at each other?
No, which was then evidenced at when they were sitting down at the
But there's
theater.
a picture.
That's what I'm referencing. When they're going to sit down.
But like Selena Gomez was the only person that say hi to Carla in the whole cast in Emilia Perez.
Yeah, but even the saying hi, the whole mannerism of Carla Sofia Gascon being sat down already in the row behind Selena Gomez, and Selena Gomez just leaning and saying hi, that's all that happened in the video. And then she just sat down and they never looked at each other again. Maybe don't tweet about your co-stars
Exactly.
while you are working with them in a movie. Can we have some common sense?
But I think that was way before.
Yeah, that tweet was way
filming.
before.
Yeah,
exactly.
But still.
That's how digital footprint is a real thing.
Digital footprint is real.
In the ass. Maybe not be racist in Twitter.
Hot take. Hot take, apparently.
Maybe not be anything ist on Twitter, because
Yeah.
the woman wrote everything under the sun.
Yeah.
But Conan O'Brien was keeping everybody on their toes with his goofy pictures while he was getting ready. Everybody's like, oh, here's my suit. Demi Moore was like, this is my dress with Pilaf, her little dog.
Did she bring the dog?
No, I don't think so. But
I was hoping she would.
hello, Miss Pilaf was part of the BTS reel.
Miss Pilaf.
That is Pookie. That is icon of the year. Okay? But Conan O'Brien was like, here's a toy and here's a shirt. This is how I'm gonna go. And then he just appeared looking immaculate. Because the man...
Is that a movie reference?
The man...
He was dressed as a nun.
He was dressed as a nun. He was part of the conclave.
Yeah.
Reference.
But the night went pretty... It could have gone much worse. Mm-hmm. Given the nominees, such as the one we all have a common hatred for, Emilia Perez. Mm-hmm. And really the night got its first awkward turn when they won Best Song, which I believe for El Mal.
Yeah.
And they started singing on stage.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I'm like, do you know exactly why you were voted for? Because it's not because your songs are part of a museum. It's just because of your storyline, giving anonymous people behind a ballot the right to say, oh, look, I like rights, where that's most
Exactly.
probably not the case.
Okay, that's the problem with Emilia Perez, and that's the why I think it has gotten so many nominations and so many awards, because people in the Hollywood scene, like these elite people, love to appear woke. They love to be like,
Morality, yeah.
guys, I'm so woke, guys, I'm so progressive, like, guys,
Yeah.
right. But then they don't care enough to like look deep in the issue or like really help in some way. They just love the look of, look how like I love trans people, and guys, I love Mexicans, so I'm gonna vote for this woke movie because, guys, I'm so woke. But
Which is hilarious, because at the end of Emilia Perez was found dead in a ditch.
There's also been like numerous articles from like trans media outlets that are like, yeah, there's never been a worse movie that attempted trans representation.
That movie is done through, it's the same way these elite people from Hollywood are thinking, is the same way the French director thought. He was like, okay, I'm gonna make a Mexican movie about a trans person, and then never ever like tried to really understand the trans journey or like how Mexican people live or like the real issue in Mexico. He just wanted the looks. He just wanted to be like, guys, I'm more woke than you because I did this movie. But the only thing he did is disrespect two whole communities.
Two entire communities.
Exactly. Because he was woke enough to do the movie, but he didn't care enough about the real problems to do the research.
Because of his egocentricity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Through the being of a Frenchman.
And
because it's always the French.
It's always the man.
It's always the male French people.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Hello.
The scene of any crime, the number one offender is always a French man.
It's always a French man. It's never the French girls. Isabelle Huppert, that's my Pookie.
No, but when it comes to the trans thing, especially like another movie that came out this year, which I was really disappointed to not see nominated for anything, was I Saw the TV Glow. Because that's a beautiful story. Very, very like well done. Very artsy, so I can understand a lot of people not really liking it. But like when you compare the way that they handle like trans topics, there's a lot of love and a lot of care and a lot of understanding compared to Emilia Perez, which is a hot dumpster fire.
That was made by someone that actually cared about the
Exactly.
issues.
Yeah,
And then you don't even have to, like, to go even more back to when trans rights and trans issues were not something so mainstream in culture and in society. 1959 saw Billy Wilder's Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis and all that. The last scene in that movie is quite literally a trans scene where one of the men is dressed up as a woman. The driver of the boat just goes, oh, so I really like you. And he's like, even if I'm a man, and he just goes, that's not any of my problem. It's a 1959 movie, which is somehow doing better than a movie that's being celebrated for its transness in 2025, which the curtain of, oh, look, I'm a trans movie, is the only thing that's helping it in its whole entire thing. You have no plot. You have no nothing.
Exactly.
You have no care for the history. You have nothing.
No, exactly.
You only have egocentricity. That's all you have. And then what bothered me the most during the award ceremony is that they won twice at the Emilia Perez team for Best Song and Best Supporting Actress, which that I have a problem in and of itself with that.
That's more
category.
categorical than.
Yeah,
we'll
but
get
no,
into that.
but I'll get more into it. The problem for me was you had two chances to say something about trans rights in your speeches.
exactly.
The first time you sang a dumbass song that you've got going on, which I'm sorry for cursing, but I really hate this whole debacle that happened. And then the second time, Zoe Saldana, and I'm sorry for saying it, was doing crocodile tears at the stage. And then the first bit, girl, first of all, cry better. Second of all, what are we doing here? You are standing here as the representative for a movie that is supposedly representing all of this, and then you only said for you.
It's like when you compare her speech versus like Mikey Madison, the girl who won for Honora, she made it a point to like thank the sex workers who inspired a lot of the movie, and like their stories were being told through that movie, because she's not a sex worker, but that's who the movie's about.
She's portraying
portraying one. She's portraying that story. It's important for her to thank and honor the people in that actual story that happened in real life. Versus Zoe Saldana can't even mention a trans person. And the director's the one who really pissed me off with this, because they asked him after in the press room, they were like, hey, you never mentioned trans people. Why is that? And his response was, well, if I won Best Director or Best Picture, I would have.
Yeah, right.
Like, if Emilia Perez had won Best Picture,
Mima, the whole entire
I'm
theater,
the cinema business, like, I'm not watching a movie ever
the
again.
theater would have caught on fire.
Yeah.
Okay? The Last Supper would have been happening there. That's what would have happened.
No, but like that's the thing. For example, I believe the people that won Best Documentary Feature Film, it was a documentary about Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
And when these people won and got on stage, they talked about colonialism, and they talked about like all of these horrible things that have been happening. That's how you know that these people really care about the issue, and it's not just like something to look good for the rest of them.
Because filmmaking, at least for me, and I think we do share this sentiment, the four of us, through the act of filmmaking, through the act of creating a narrative, a story, or anything, you are honoring, you have to honor. It's the only way that you can make a legitimate movie which is actually heartfelt. You have to honor the situation, no matter what it is. Mm-hmm. And that is the difference between...
There's something that we always say in one of my writing classes, and writing, when we're looking at screenwriting, you have a lot of different characters in any movie, and some of them are really good, some of them are really bad, people, like, it's a whole thing. But the one thing that we always say in these writing classes is that writing and storytelling is an act of empathy more than anything else. It does not matter what the story's about, who you're telling it about, like, you have to have empathy to understand these people, or else they're not going to be real people. It won't feel like a real story.
And you have to teach something, like maybe to change like the opinion of people or something that. But if your purpose is not teaching, then why are you making a movie?
I mean,
just to put some images together.
I mean, I like
singing some songs.
It's
I like
doesn't
movie.
make any
It's
sense. A promotional film for France.
Oh, shout out. Do you say shout out?
Shout out.
Shout out to the Mexican director that made the parody movie about French people. You ate that. By the way, the name of the Palestine documentary film is No Other Land, if you guys want to watch it.
And it should get a theater to be shown in.
Yeah.
Sale. Because
Yes.
now it has more Oscars than sale offerings in the United States.
That's crazy.
It has not been offered to any movie theater, and it's only artsy
That's
movie
crazy.
theaters that are actually showing it, and in only specific cities.
Following what you said, okay, I don't believe that every movie has to have like a lesson at the end, because I personally love shark movies. I'm a die-hard fan of shark movies, earthquake movies, tornado movies, like, yes. But I do think that if art doesn't have a meaning, it doesn't have like deepness, it's more decoration than anything else.
Yeah.
So, of course, like your typical shark movie is not gonna win. It's
But
not gonna
maybe
be the
lesson
best movie
is something
ever.
inside the movie.
Yeah,
Not
like,
like
it
the
can be
shark is
fun.
going to eat
The
people.
lesson is the friends we made
Don't
along
play
the
with
way.
sharks.
Exactly. Maybe the lesson is like you have to cooperate with people.
The lesson is, if you see a shark, don't go. don't pet it.
You see, for me, it's like, oh, you saw the Meg? You better help the Meg dig a hole. Like, whatever the Meg is doing, I'm like, yes, queen, I'm there.
Spooky, that's
Period.
spooky.
That's me.
But, yeah. Anyways, let's move on from the whole Emilia Perez thing, because I
We have
can
to take
be
a deep
ranting
breath.
about this.
Yeah, we could
the
literally
rest
make a
of the
podcast of
episode.
just
Am
about
I
that.
free to talk about the category fraud? And
Yes.
the
Which one?
actress in a supporting role?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so because this is a qualm that I've had even before the Oscars, when the nominations came out. The problem is, 4 of these nominees are co-leads. Zoe Saldana,
Ariana
Monica, Ariana Grande, and Felicity Jones. The only one that fits the definition of a supporting actress is Isabella Rossellini in The Conclave. She's only there 15 minutes through the climax of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. You should really go watch Conclave. It was one of my favorites. But she's only there to elevate Ray Fiennes' performance, Stanley Tucci's, and all that. And she literally only appears when the whole thing of the movie is going on, and then she disappears. That's a supporting role. It's not... Ariana Grande is not a supporting role. She's a co-lead, which was the same problem that happened in the 2005 Tonys with Wicked. They nominated Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth in the same category. Well, one of them was supporting and the other one was... or the same category. I don't remember. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
And I think Zoe Saldana appears more.
Yeah,
I was just about to mention that.
Hello.
Like,
Yes.
Like, at this point...
Like, the movie follows her point of view.
yeah, exactly.
And it's like, just because she's not the titular character doesn't mean she's the lead. She's not the lead actress. She
Exactly.
is.
She is.
We
She
see
starts
more
with
from her than anything else.
she sings more than Emilia.
Exactly. She's the one that's going around the world
Yeah.
sourcing these things for Emilia, and yet we have to call her a supporting character.
And
no,
we
Mama,
see-
you're the lead. What
Yeah.
the hell are
The
you saying?
movie is told from her point of view.
Yeah.
So, I don't
understand how she fits into the concept of a supporting role when it's literally her point of view. Like, yes, the story is technically about somebody else, but in reality, the story is about how she's helping that person.
Exactly.
So it is her story. Like, I don't understand. But my personal opinion for a supporting role, and I made this joke to you earlier, I'm very sorry, Paloma Diamond deserved it. If you guys aren't in on the joke, it's like this guy on TikTok who dresses up and like pretends to be actors, responding.
I saw it. It's
And
really good.
ABC
It's-
News like interviewed him as Paloma Diamond, talking about like losing out on the awards. It was a whole
I think
thing.
Alba found...
Yeah.
I've seen him.
I
seen
think
Paloma
Alba just
Diamond.
found her new hyperfixation.
It's one of my favorite things to just bring up. It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
Moving on from this, do you guys want to talk about...
Maybe we should
Actress.
talk about Best Picture. That's all the
Oh.
Oscars
Let's
about,
talk
I
about
think.
Best Picture.
I feel like that's going to open up a lot of the other categories for us.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
What do you think?
Where is Challengers? Why is it not here?
Why did
That's my question.
Why
Listen,
Zendaya is not nominated?
Exactly.
here's another
in Best
quote.
Actress?
I'm gonna break the microphone from how close I shouted.
Why
Where
is it like
Challengers?
if they weren't gonna do it for Best Picture, why not score?
Exactly.
The score
Or
was
cinematography.
fantastic, or the cinematography.
It was
like,
amazing.
fantastic.
Best screenplay, original screenplay. I've never I haven't watched all the movies in the history of cinema, but I think it's a really original screenplay. Like,
And I
think it's
also
a
think you
really
have watched
original
more
story.
movies
Than the
in
people,
your
the
life
people
than
in
the
the
people
Academy.
who are voting at the Academy.
Yes.
I think you should be an Academy voter.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
You too, you too.
Ampas, can we get
Can we
a
get
license over here? Come on.
please? Thank you.
Why do we have so many nominations for Best Picture?
They always do it
How
like that.
many? It's always the category with more nominees.
But like when they were doing the compilation,
There's 10 total.
Percent,
Yeah.
Okay, my opinion on this, after like how is Challengers not nominated for anything, is I liked Anora. I watched Anora. I really enjoyed it. Do I think it's the best movie of last year?
no.
No.
I think Anora should have won like maybe in the Golden Globes because I think it's really good, but like the Oscars, I don't think like is like the best picture.
Can I
of the
say
year.
something potentially controversial?
Hot take.
I think when they realized that like all this shit that was happening behind the scenes with Emilia Perez, they were like,
Yeah.
oh fuck,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can't
for
have that one.
sure.
They were like,
For
okay,
sure.
what's the second most woke movie on this list?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt.
that is quite literally how the night
Yeah, for sure.
went because the whole entire thing. Let's talk once more about Emilia Perez, but this is the last thing I will say.
Emilia Perez
When they
haters unite.
Yeah, when they were doing the voting for the other award shows, it was before the whole debacle of the tweets happened.
Yeah.
So Carla Sofia Gascon was rising.
She was
up
racking up awards.
She was rising. Not only that, but she was rising up the ranks of Hollywood. This is only like what, your 6th movie,
Yeah.
and you're already like, hello,
Nominated. Yeah.
and you're the first trans woman to be nominated for this, but then when you don't close your mouth, that's what happens.
When you're racist.
Yeah, when you're everything is. But all of a sudden, in this country, because in France, Emilia Perez won and everything like that. But here we like to pretend that morality is our Lord and Savior, and then we just turn around a blind eye.
Yeah.
So when the whole entire debacle started happening, of course they were like, we cannot do this. It's going to define the Academy Awards that are already conflict-ridden
They're
since
already
its
like,
inception.
but if you see the viewing, like how many viewers the Oscars have every year, it has been declining since like 10 years
Because so
ago,
many
something
people
like
are
that.
like, why am I going to actually turn it on and watch it when I can like just pull up a Twitter feed of it or
No,
something
but
like
it's
that?
also that they used to be like fun. They used to be
Yeah.
light. They used to be shorter. They weren't
They
like
did
as
a
long as
whole-
they are now.
Let me
And-
finish this point before I
And
mention that other
they
one.
have been how do you say it, disappointing the
Yeah.
viewers for so long that I've been since 2019 I've been watching the Oscars religiously. Like I used to have like my PDF and I used to like watch all the movies that were nominated for everything, including like short films, and I used to like choose my winner and
Yeah.
then like watch. And this was when I was living in Spain. I used to like in Spain the Oscars start at like
11 p.m.
2 a.m. or something like that,
Yeah.
and they last till 6 a.m. So I was like doing all that effort because I really enjoyed it, and I used to do it like alone
It
in my
was
living
fun.
room. And this year I was so disappointed with the fact that they nominated Emilia Perez for so many things and that they didn't nominate challengers for anything, and like so many other movies that came out last year like Dune 2. I was like, because Dune 2 they nominated for like 2 things but not any of the big like, okay, best picture, but not any other like big category, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is Timothée Chalamet nominated as a best actor for The Complete Unknown? I think it should have been for Dune 2, but whatever.
Yeah, but then the studios were pushing like the incorrect movies the whole entire time because the studios were not pushing Sing Sing.
Yeah.
They were not pushing it, and that was an outstanding.
Same thing with Nickel Boys.
Yeah,
I did not hear about that movie at all until the Oscars.
because they just have like their own interests, but the greed is what's gonna kill you. So,
Yeah.
but the whole entire like it used to be fun before, and now we had a James Bond legacy thing, which is crazy because last week the Miss Broccoli, producer of James Bond, I don't remember her first name right now. I wish I was kidding. That is her last name.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I thought you were like being rude.
No, I'm not being rude. They sold all the rights to James Bond to Amazon MGM Studios. So now I don't think there will ever be another Bond. Like they quite literally
Oh, God.
messed themselves up.
It also confused me because why?
Like my dad.
Why are
and
we
I-
making a James Bond reference?
My
right
dad
now?
and I were like, is this a new James Bond movie? Oh my God, because I do love James Bond. And my dad loves James Bond. And we were like, is this a new James Bond movie? And the moment that my dad saw Daniel Craig, my dad went, and what the fuck is this? What are we doing? We spent 7 extra minutes of showtime for a show which producers say they want to shorten it. And yet you make this nonsensical. I'm not saying that the singers were bad because I actually did really enjoy the segment.
And
But
thank you, Miss Margaret Qualley, for being an amazing dancer.
yes, ma'am, ballerina trained. What are we doing? We keep on saying that we have to shorten it, and yet you still pass 23 minutes past your runtime. And Hulu had a problem showing it this year, where they thought it was going to end at like 10:43 p.m. and then all of a sudden Hulu cut the show, so people that were watching on Hulu were not able to see Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Picture.
That's crazy.
And I was one of those people. So then I had to find another way during a commercial break to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been disappointing the viewers over and over. And they, like, I feel that every year that passes, it's more clear that the nominations and the winners, basically, the people that win are the people that have more friends in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, there's some exceptions,
Haven't
obviously.
you seen the article that came out recently?
Which one?
Of Uma Thurman's daughter. With
What was
Ethan
her name?
Hawke, Maya Hawke.
Maya
Hawke, they interviewed her like 2 months ago. And they told, they were like, oh, so how does casting work now in this new studio thing? And she's like, oh, they look for how many followers you have on Instagram to see how well their film is going to sell, depending on how you're going to share the sneak peeks of the movie and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
So they are not hiring anymore through, and I guess this could be intrinsically connected to influencers, the rise of influencers or whatever, but they're not hiring actors anymore. They're not hiring people that actually love the craft.
The second they let Addison Rae be in that fucking Netflix movie, it was all downhill from there.
Girl,
But
Kim
that's also
Kardashian
happening
in
with-
American Horror Story, girl, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing here? And then Jessica Lange, rightfully, they asked her last week, hey, are you returning? And she said, fuck no. Like, what are we doing?
That's happening also with the animation industry,
Yeah.
that there's no more like voice actors. It's always like celebrities doing voice acting. And what happens is that a perfectly good movie that the animators have put so much effort in it, it comes out as mid.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the voice acting is really important. And if you don't hire voice actors, and if you only hire celebrities because they're gonna attract more people, you're making a movie that could have like a really good potential and could be really good if it had the proper voice acting. And you're taking it to like mid.
I have something controversial to
some of
mention
the best
on that.
movies
If
that
someone-
have been done in film history have quite literally been done by casting people on the street.
Yeah.
They've been location scouting.
You know the lady who plays Sadness in Inside Out?
Yeah.
Her original role was in The Office, and she was never supposed to be on the show. She
Yeah.
was like one of the people reading scripts with people, and they were like, actually, you're doing a great job. Do you want to just be in it? Like,
Yeah, like one of, I don't remember the name of the movie now, but like there's a 1950s movie where they quite literally were like, oh, this little kid is very interested in the camera. Let's get him in the movie. And that's how they did their casting. They didn't ask anybody, can you act? They said, you look interested, come here. And it's one of the best movies in film history. But we are losing the love of the craft.
we're
Yeah.
losing the love of the craft so hard. And a lot of them are replacing it for method acting, which...
Listen,
Do not get me started.
If I see another animation movie that casts Chris Pratt,
Oh my God.
we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a
You were
problem.
gonna say it.
I knew it. Oh my god.
I will
Listen,
lose
the last good thing that Chris Pratt did is Parks and Recreation. That finished 15 years ago. Let it go. You already married into the Schwarzeneggers. Let it go. Like, just buy another house. Live
Why?
someplace else. I don't want to see your face.
Why is he Mario? Like, I know this movie came out like when did it came out?
And the thing is,
Last year?
3, I think.
2024.
The
Anyways,
thing
like
is, Mario is
Mario already had a voice.
Mario is Italian.
already had a voice actor.
Mario is Italian. Why
Anyway,
does he sound like
we're
if he's
like-
from California?
We're going all over the place. I can talk
Let's
about a
go back
movie...
to the Oscar.
I can talk about a movie that came out this year with voice acting that I have thoughts on, which was the Sonic 3 movie. I love the Sonic movies, and that's actually something they did. They kept for one of the characters, Tails, the voice actor is the voice actor they had from the games. Like, they've kept that voice actor because they were like, literally nobody else is gonna, like, nobody else can do it better. And, like, a lot of the casting choices can be a little bit weird in terms of who they have for a voice actor. Like, they had Keanu Reeves for Shadow, which is a very interesting choice, especially when you know that in the first movie they've made jokes about Keanu Reeves.
Really?
So it's a little bit weird. And I don't think Keanu Reeves is a perfect actor, but not a perfect voice actor. Like, there are moments where you can kind of tell that's just Keanu Reeves. But, like, there's at least still, like, passion behind the choices. Like, they care enough to make those choices with, like, references in mind. And so it's, like, there's such a big difference when you have that versus, like, fucking Chris Pratt, who, oh my god, I just...
Obviously, there's celebrities that are really good voice
Robert
actors.
Pattinson.
Idina Menzel. Hello. I am an Elsa lover. That girl is perfect. Anyway, Wilhelmine Verkijk, get to work, girl.
Do you guys want to go through all the nominees for Best Picture and do like a small take on them?
Yes.
Okay, we already talked about Anora. The Brutalist, I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched it yet.
I have not either, but I've heard it's great.
I've heard really good things.
It's amazing, and I've heard that there's people in the Academy that haven't watched it completely.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
Same thing with Dune. There was, like, I read an anonymous Oscars, like, voter came out, and they were like, I wasn't gonna sit through Dune 2 because I sat through Dune 1, and that's, like, 3 hours. Dune 2 is also 3 hours. It's probably just the same. Hello? Your job is to watch the movie. Yeah. What do you mean?
Give me your job. Give it to me right now.
I will gladly take it. Like, are you kidding me?
This has to do with the Brutalist. Adrian Brody was nominated.
Oh.
Ray Fiennes was nominated for Conclave. They did not vote for Ray Fiennes because they mistakenly thought that Ray Fiennes had won 2 Academy Awards.
Give that man an Oscar right now.
That man was in Schindler's List and Grand Budapest Hotel and did not win anything. And then Adrian Brody won for The Pianist in 2002. Google is in your hands, people, and yet we don't do. Oh my! I mean, at this point, if you don't want to do Google, at least look someplace. Like, look in your brain because you have not watched anything.
What you like?
Yeah. Have we
Question mark?
Like,
have we thought about, like, voting for what you like instead of, like, being like, oh, but
sheep?
I don't know if they have, he has the, like, these awards. So, like, if you like Adrian Brody best, like, vote for him. If you like, what was his name? Ray Fiennes best, vote for him. That's it. Like, it's not, I feel like it's not that hard.
All that is asked of you is to watch a movie. You're giving a whole year to watch movies.
I do it for free. No, I pay.
I pay.
Listen. Yesterday I sat through 2001: A Space Odyssey. That movie is 2 hours and 29 minutes long, and it leaves you with more questions than answers. And these people cannot watch Dune.
You said Dune.
I'm sorry. I said it in the first podcast. I am a hater by nature, but you cannot sit down. At least watch the original 1980s Dune.
But it's not the same movie. It's not the same movie. You can't vote for Dune 2 thinking about
but like, the thing is, but most probably they don't even know what the hell the first one's about.
You're like, I'm going to read the book and I'm going to vote on the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
And then the thing is, did you see what they said about Cynthia Erivo in Wicked and an anonymous ballot? Hold my hand.
Oh God, I know you're gonna need it for this.
Hold the space.
They said that Cynthia Erivo was too old to play Elphaba in Wicked. And I was like, how old are you, bastard? Oh. I was like, can you do that battle cry? Yeah. Like,
can you do I'm not gonna.
The whole nominations were like watching. The whole nominations this year were like watching people during the Olympics where they think they could be as good as Simone Biles. And then they're you could have jumped higher. I would like to see you get up from the couch. Yeah. So
not to mention she did that shit live. She did that shit with a fucking casket around her, flying through the air. Are you kidding me?
And then singing and and the love for the craft that they have. Like, I keep on saying it. This Oscars just felt devoid of character.
Yeah.
And also, listen, if you can't appreciate that the lead or the co-lead for one of the biggest movies of last year is a black queer woman, and the thing that you're thinking is like, she's too old. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Like I'm pretty sure that was a man saying that.
Does it really matter how old she
And a
actually
French.
is?
French, for sure.
I think that was Jacques Audiard. I think that was his ballot.
Quote it.
Void, null and void.
Okay.
We got off
A
topic
Complete
again.
Unknown. Have you guys watched A Complete Unknown?
No. And this is literally
Stop doing biopics.
This is only because, and I will be self-inserting here. This has nothing to do with this year's Oscars, but it still is another Bob Dylan movie. Why do I have to watch Timothée Chalamet play Bob Dylan when Cate Blanchett already did it and I'm not here in 2007?
Wait.
Yeah, she did. Just search up.
My
Cate
thing
Blanchett,
is, if we're gonna
Bob
keep
Dylan.
making biopics, can we at least make them like fun and camp like we did with Rocket Man?
Exactly.
I loved Rocket Man.
This is Kate Blanchett.
That's Cate Blanchett. Like,
Oh my god, it is. Yeah.
yeah. That's Cate Blanchett. Like, why are we?
I'm
like,
gay.
Listen. All
We need to watch this tonight.
you know what? I love the energy that Timothée Chalamet brings.
I think he's a great actor.
He
I think
said,
he is really
I
good.
want to be one of the greats. And that's a great thing to say while you're winning an award. Which is not anything like Adrian Brody's speech, which was very,
What did he say?
oh, girl, it was all pick me, pick me, pick me. And then he was like, but war is bad. Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. Like, a war is bad. What are we doing? And then Timothée Chalamet in the Golden Globes or in the SAG Awards, BAFTA or SAG Awards, quite literally said, I want to be one of the greats. And I will be putting myself in that trail to be one of the greats. I don't care about you
No,
guys.
he's doing good.
He's doing
like,
really good.
He released Dune 2 and A Complete Unknown in the same year. Like, those are two really powerful lead characters.
And they're very different characters.
And they're
I
really
think he
different
should have been
characters.
nominated
For Dune 2.
For Dune 2.
Yeah, me too.
But, yeah.
But I haven't watched it, so I can't really say
Yeah.
a lot. Conclave.
That's my pick.
Pookie.
That's my Pookie. Pope Crave on Twitter. Let's go. Like, oh, that whole movie.
That movie's really good.
I was at the Sistine Chapel while only sitting down at AMC 18. That was how I was feeling. I was like,
It literally transported you.
is this the Sistine Chapel? Thank you, Ray Fiennes, for bringing me here. Like, the movie's
Yeah.
like, oh, the Pope is dead. And I'm like, oh,
And
the
it's
Pope
like,
is dead.
It's so...
Hey,
so
Pope, I hope you're doing
sassy,
well.
like, it's so gossipy. It's so gossipy of like,
Yeah.
you had like, okay, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind. But
All I
it's
will
like,
say is,
you did that.
all I
Like,
will say, if
and
you
then
want to
you
know what the
compare
movie
it
I
into
love how
Christianism.
Ray Fiennes is like, we have to pick someone good. And Stanley Tucci's like,
I love Stanley Tucci.
as somebody
I'm a
who
Stanley Tucci
spent a
supporter.
lot of time
Stanley
around
Tucci is the gay
Catholic
girls.
people,
Yeah.
all Catholic people are that gossipy.
Yeah.
So it's lovely to see that accurately portrayed on screen.
yeah, Stanley Tucci is the gay girl's dream man.
I love him so
In
much.
many of his roles, he is.
I mean, in that movie, it was like him in The Devil Wears Prada,
Yeah.
only wearing Catholic paraphernalia and going, you guys, I think we have to go to a vote, maybe.
Mate. No, that movie is really good. Dune Part 2. Hot take. I think it was good. Obviously, it was good. Like, I'm talking about this, having this standard be like the type of movie that is Dune. Obviously, like, visually is amazing. The
Yeah.
cinematography is amazing. The acting is amazing. But in my opinion, there were some parts that they were rushed, and there were some parts that were cut short. Like, were like prolonged for too long.
Yeah,
The
the
pacing
film
did
editing was
feel-
not the best.
Yeah, the editing was not.
The editing and the pacing did feel kind of like off at times. Like it just like the same thing that you said, where it's like some parts were like they just went on for too long when other parts needed to be expanded on
Yeah.
more. Like they just didn't use as well with the time that they had.
Yeah, and I also think I had it hyped up because
Yeah.
I had like a lot of people around me saying, "Wow, it's amazing, it's amazing." So I think also like my expectations were a little bit higher, but still like it's a good movie. Like
It's good.
I think it's deserves to be nominated.
Now, for one
Let's
that does
not
not
talk
deserve to be
about-
nominated,
We've talked about Amelia Perez enough.
I
We
think
are
people
going-
know our
We're moving-
opinion
DNF.
on it.
Yeah.
did not qualify. Goodbye.
Ainda estoy aquí. Well, yes, I'm still here. That was okay.
You lost.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I was here with you, but Alba was not here with you.
But I got you now. I got you.
Amazing movie. Amazing, stunning. Yes, the lore runs deep. They won Best International Film, which absolutely deserved. And I knew it before it was even, I even saw it happen live because I was driving. I knew it because I got 1,000,001 texts from all my family members in Brazil. The group chat was blowing up. There was videos being sent of them, literally,
It's
jumping.
the first time they win, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and the craziest part of the lore is that Fernanda Torres, she was nominated for Best Actress. Her mom was the first Brazilian woman, I believe, to be nominated for an Oscar, and they lost. So this was the perfect little comeback moment, and
That's
having
so
that
cool.
family tie is just so cool. And I was really disappointed that she didn't win for Best Actress, but Mikey Madison was good in that movie, so I still think that being able to say that they won for international is still an absolutely amazing stride.
And listen, getting nominated to the Oscars, it's
Yeah.
already a win.
Yeah.
If I ever get nominated or some of my work gets nominated, only getting nominated, it's huge.
Yeah,
It's
that's
huge.
enough for
and
me
more
at
for
that point.
international movies.
Yeah.
Because the majority of them get lost in the void of not being American.
Yeah.
Because American people only look at themselves. But anyways,
None of us were able to watch Nickel Boys because it was not sold correctly by studios to the movie theaters. That one's for you, studios.
That was the most news anchor, kind
Yeah,
of voice
well.
that you've ever seen.
I try.
The Substance. Okay, this one I was pleasantly shocked because the Oscars have a history of ignoring horror movies, and I'm a huge horror movie fan, so that always pisses me off. But I was actually really excited that The Substance was nominated for a couple of different categories. I mean, Demi Moore was nominated as well, and she does phenomenal in that movie. They won for makeup, which is fucking... If anybody else won, I was going to be so mad. I know that it's very hard to paint a woman green every single day for several hours at a time, but you cannot compare that to Monstro Eliza Sue, so...
No.
They're I was very, very
That's
thankful
my
for that.
Pookie.
Monstro
Monstro
Eliza
Eliza
Sue.
I
Sue,
love
that's
her.
my Pookie. When I saw that girl, I'm going
Girl.
anecdotal. I had the best time of my damn
When
life.
she was putting on her earrings.
Girl,
Oh
when
my
she,
God, yes.
no,
when
no,
she
no.
straightened...
By the way, spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Low-key,
when she
high-key.
was putting on her earrings.
Yeah, but
The hallway from the
Monstro-
bathroom to the living room. Mama, you're pushing and pulling in that hallway. How long is the... What if you have to pee in that penthouse? You're going to pee
But
yourself
I
on the
also-
way there.
Listen, I also thought about that, but then the bathroom has such a main character.
It is a character in and of
It's a
itself. It's so
character in and of
sterile.
itself.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
so sterile.
sterile.
It's so white and so cold. It doesn't feel cozy at all. So I think that the fact that it was so far away from everything else made it more important because you had to walk that long as hallway